songs are slow and sad. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Welcome to the Sad Song Queens podcast, where we dive deep into the songs that make us cry. I'm Laura Webb.
And I'm Lindsay Wolfington.
Today we are chatting with Gary Lightbody of the band Snow Patrol, and we are discussing their song, You Could Be Happy.
Snow Patrol is an alt-rock band from Northern Ireland. It was first formed when members Gary Lightbody, Mark McClelland, and Michael Morrison met at the University of Dundee in 1994. They broke onto the scene in 2003 with their first major label album, Final Straw, and achieved multi-platinum success with their 2006 album, Eyes Open, which includes both You Could Be Happy and the hit song, Chasing Cars. That song gained major attention from its use in Grey's Anatomy and even received a Grammy nomination in 2007 for Best Rock Song, as well as an Ivor Novello Award.
Frontman Gary Lightbody and current bandmates Johnny McDade and Nathan Connolly released an album last year called The Forest is the Path. And Gary wrote a book by the same name about the loss of his father to dementia, so I am looking forward to talking to him about that.
So grab those tissues and let's get into it, because we all need a good cry.
And now, You Could Be Happy by Snow Patrol.
You could be happy, and I won't know. But you weren't happy the day I watched you go. And all the things that I wish I had not said are played in loops till it's madness in my head. Is it too late to remind you how we were? And not our last days of silent screaming blur. Most of what I remember makes me sure I should have stopped you from walking out the door. You could be happy, I hope you are. You made me happier than I'd been by far. Somehow everything I own smells of you. And for the tiniest moment, it's all not true. Do the things that you always wanted to. Without me there to hold you back, don't think, just do. More than anything I want to see you, girl. Take a glorious bite out of the whole world.
Well, welcome to the podcast, Gary. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
I always open my eyes a little bit to watch you react to the song. When was the last time you listened to this recording?
I haven't listened to that recorded version in a long time. We play You Could Be Happy every now and again. We haven't played it in a while, but we do an extended version of it now, where at the end there, where you sort of hear the acoustic coming in a little bit. We kind of continue and just say, sort of have a choral kind of arrangement at the end when we do it live. these days. But it's been a while, maybe a year since we played it live. So I haven't heard it in a little bit.
I had read that you had looked into commissioning like a music box version, but it was really costly. And that was many years ago. So has a fan or actually a music box company ever reached out since?
No, they haven't. Maybe this is the opportunity if any music box companies want to put that in there. Yeah, no, we wanted to. It wasn't so much that the music box itself was costly. It's that we wanted to incorporate it into the gigs. So we wanted to build a kind of a mechanical instrument that played that sort of live. And that was the thing that we were scratching our heads trying to figure out how to do. But yeah, I think a little music box version of it would be very nice.
It would be amazing, yeah. What kind of instrument would that be?
That was like one of those little. I think most of it was done on one of those little thumb pianos. Most of those notes were made on those little. It's like a wooden block. It's like a wooden block, and there's like little sort of metal prongs on it, each sort of in a different note. So you've got the whole scale.
Okay.
And you can kind of make those sounds on there. I think there may well have been a little studio trickery in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Along the line, but yeah, I think it's one of those little thumb pianos.
That's really cool.
And what do you do when you play it live? Do you play a recording of that instrument, or you just don't do it?
It's played, but it's played as a sample on the piano. So those notes are played on the piano keyboard by human hands, but by Johnny, or when we used to play it when Pablo was still in the band, Pablo would play that part. So it was always played by humans, but not on the exact same instrument. I think it'd be difficult to kind of get a thumb piano that translated over to thousands of people. I'm sure there's possibilities, but we've usually transferred it to the piano.
My head makes me think of like Schroeder from the Peanuts,
Yeah, little tiny piano.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little tiny piano would work. Like one of those toy pianos.
That'd be a great, stage moment. I don't know.
We
gotta have sitting on top of the piano. It'd be kind of fun.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. The music box is part of it that I love it. I think that's what so many people love about the song is the music box element. And I don't know if it is just a sense of innocence or nostalgia. I think it is a sense of innocence. I'll just jump into to me, this feels like a breakup that you don't want to have.
Yeah.
That there's true love here, but they always say, if you love someone, set them free. So it feels like that version of a love song.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the real heartbreaking part is that you still want the best for them.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a sign of growth too, of oh wow, because there is so much love and respect, but sometimes you often hear the breakup songs of I never see you again. So that I think feels ultra stab in the heart. Also, in the beginning when you could be happy and I wouldn't know, that time where this person meant so much to you and now you have no idea what's going on with them, and it's such a weird feeling and so hard to move on, and all that part really got to me more than a theory, but just parts that really resonated, I guess, on this one instead of a theory.
And do the things you always wanted to do without me holding you back. I mean,
yeah, it's really beautiful. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, I wrote a book. Just listening to the song, I didn't even realize that these are still things that I'm wrestling with. Clearly, because part of that is in the book. That sort of idea of never quite getting relationships right. And even though I've spent a lot of time thinking about it over the last 10 or so years, the book kind of came out of the last album. It's called the last album's called The Forest is the Path, and the book's called The Forest is the Path, and it explores a lot of the themes of the album, but it also explores the time after the year after my father died. So it's kind of this weaving kind of story between the two, between the album and the aftermath of his passing. But there is a section called Love in it, and in that section, this a lot of the themes of that song are still clearly on my mind because I've written quite a lot on it.
Yeah.
And do you fault it? Is like being a musician the hard part, that you can't get like the touring and the traveling, and is that where you feel like it's been so difficult?
No, not as such. I think I am someone that's always moving. That is true. You know, whether I'm even when I'm sitting down, it sort of feels like there's still momentum. You know, that I'm never quite comfortable in one place for very long. So yes, that is definitely part of it. You're right about that. But I've been in a relationship for a very long time. I realized yesterday it's been 17 years. So
Wow.
yeah.
Congratulations.
It's you know, so it's not being with someone for like not being in, you know, just being on my own for 17 years is a long time. So I've kind of got used to it, you know. I don't really feel lonely, you know. I think when I think back to that song and writing that song, I did feel a loneliness in my life. I did feel, you know, certainly post that particular breakup, which was hard, and I felt very lonely and kind of disconnected. But I feel very in tune. I have lots of amazing family and friends, and I'm, you know, in nature every day, hiking or swimming in the sea or whatever, you know. So I'm not sitting wallowing in anything, I don't think, anymore. I think that that song was perhaps at a time in my life when I was feeling like I'd made such a mess of everything, and I don't feel like that anymore.
Right. And I feel like the 20s, 30s, that's such a, you're feeling everything, and it's, you like the drama. I don't know. I can speak for myself, you know, like the drama and the push and the pull, and it makes great art, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you wrote this in your 20s, because I do feel like, well, one, you're young, but you still have all those kind of like rom-coms in your head, and like
Yes.
everything feels like it could be dreamy and amazing, and you're still like young, and I feel like jaded that I'm saying this right now, but I do feel like there's just like a heightened sense of emotionality during that time in your life.
Yeah.
For sure. And you know, you're not really even geared to settle down, particularly at that time in your life, you know. So it feels like pretty much everything at that time in your 20s is in flux, you know, in some way. But now I'm knocking on the door of 50, so it's a whole different story.
It's going to be amazing from here on
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a great decade.
We'll see.
Is this written about the same person that Chasing Cars is written about?
Oh.
That's a very, very, very good question. Very perceptive question.
You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Lucky girl.
Yeah, I know.
So many good songs.
I know.
Don't know about that.
Do you think they know it's about them?
Yes, certainly the person that Chasing Cars is about knows that it is about her, and if she listens to this now, she'll know that one's about her as well.
Breaking news.
You know, it's been some years.
Yeah, no, we're friends. We're friends.
Okay.
We're
Nice.
So
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're really good pals.
So now that you wouldn't know, now you do know they're okay. So that's good.
Yes, I do.
Full
It's,
circle.
yeah,
That's
absolutely.
actually nice. That's
Yeah.
some nice closure. So take us through when you were writing this and sort of where you were physically, emotionally, like what, you know, do you remember much about the days that you wrote this?
So we went to a place called Grouse Lodge to make the album that this is on, Eyes Open. There's a place called Grouse Lodge it's almost, if you look at Ireland as an island, which it is, it's right in the middle of Ireland. It's in Westmeath, kind of, a little bit higher than the exact middle, but it's this magical place. It's on an old estate, sort of country estate, so it's all kind of
nice.
dramatic buildings, and it's a residential studio, so you just kind of stay there. It's got its own bar, the Guinness tap in it and stuff like that, and
Nice.
really cool place to hang out and make music. And we were ensconced there, and it was originally written as a lot of our songs over the years have been written either on piano or guitar. I think that's probably par for the course for most people. This one was written on the acoustic guitar. You can hear a little bit of acoustic guitar in it, even though the music box ended up being the sort of featured instrument. It's sort of grounded in that sort of acoustic guitar strum. And yeah, Garrett Lee, Jackknife Lee, was the producer of that album, and he's a maverick genius, an absolute legend.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he's produced so many people, REM, U2, editors. I mean, the list is really, really long of the amazing artists that he's worked with. And we made 5 albums with him. I made 2 other albums with him, Tired Pony albums, and you know, we worked together for 20 years or so, up until the last album we worked with someone else, Fraser T. Smith, but it was 2 decades with Garrett, and this was the second album we made together. So we'd made Final Straw, which has the song Run on it. Maybe people might know that one.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And then this album, which would end up having Chasing Cars on it, so it became kind of our most popular record. But like recording it, we were secluded, sequestered, whatever, you know, squirreled away in this kind of country pile in the middle of Ireland, and it's 6 miles to the nearest town. It was very sort of idyllic, but also a little bit isolated. So by the end of it, by like 7 or 8 weeks in, I think we were all a little bit like The Shining, just a little tiny bit Jack Torrance by the end of it. But didn't go at anybody with an axe. Don't worry, it didn't go that far, but it was just a little bit.
Right,
It was
yes,
just,
yeah.
it was just yeah. We definitely needed to leave after about 8 weeks, but it was really fun, a really brilliant time for certainly for the first 7 weeks, and yeah, You Could Be Happy just came together kind of very naturally. It was Garrett. I'm pretty sure it was Jackknife Lee who had the music box idea. He was playing. He buys lots of strange instruments and always brings them with him in like a suitcase full of strange things to make noises on, and then sort of sets them up around the studios for people to pick up. Either the little electronic things where you can kind of, you know, make weird noises with, or they're as simple as it gets, you know, a piece of wood with some metal prongs on it. And that was kind of his idea to go with that for that song. And it kind of, as soon as that went on it, it felt like the song was almost finished, you know. It's like it didn't need much more.
Yeah.
There's not that much on it, really. You know, a guitar and bass and a little tiny bit of drums and that thumb piano.
We get some strings at the end, don't we?
There's a little bit of strength. There's really
bit?
very few things on it, but like, yeah, there's bits and pieces. I think the little thumb piano does all the heavy lifting, really. And we have done versions of it where it's just that thumb piano and an acoustic guitar, and it's worked fine.
Ooh.
You know,
The subtlety is what I think really is so moving. That sparseness, which is so good for putting to picture, and your music obviously lends well to it. So
I know.
Oh,
Has
great,
this song been placed? We should have looked that up. But
Oh, yeah.
I know that I've pitched it for many a thing without landing it. But
it did get a placement. It went on Smallville. And,
Oh,
it did. And
maybe I did help with. I wonder when that was. Oh no, it was later. But I shared an office with the music supervisor of Smallville.
I
so
think it was. I was watching Smallville, so I'm a big Superman fan. So I was delighted by that, and I think it's season 5 or 6. But it's been a while, so I can't remember.
amazing. Yeah, Madonna Wade Reed worked on that show, and she was my first boss too. When my first year being a music coordinator was the first year of Smallville, and we used so much music at the time because like the Talon always had songs in it, and the Big End montage and all those things. So
that's really
That's
cool.
great. I love that show. It's great.
And then Lindsay has used your music in One Tree Hill,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
Well,
Yes,
to
thank you for that.
Run, you probably just like said yes to the use and whatever, but it was the big season finale end montage song, which we always called the coda for our first season. And I do feel like, the show ended up going on for 9 years, but that coda, that like montage vibe, like I always would say that Run was an example of, it was like the touchstone of what that end montage was supposed to be. Like it should be songs like that. Travis Reoffender was another like iconic cliffhanger moment we had, and those two songs were like, this is so perfect One Tree Hill cliffhanger music. So, and it's such a
that's
beautiful
great.
song. Both Laura and I
Thank you.
were re-listening to it. It's like, It's so epic, and we don't know what it's really about.
I know, because we were deciding which song, actually between Run and You Could Be Happy, and both are sad, but I feel like slightly, I feel more, like if you had to rank it, You Could Be Happy, I feel more tears than Run.
Ranking
But
the sadness
yeah.
is a really good name for something. I think that's probably, maybe we could do like a greatest hits or something like that and call it that. But,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You're like sad, yeah. sad.
Gary, that
Yeah.
can be your next book.
Yeah.
yes. No, Run was written in 2000, I think. It didn't actually go on a record until 2003, which is final straw. And myself and Nathan from Snow Patrol and our two friends, Jimmy and Tracy, who were a couple, happened to... Jimmy, we call him Lucky Jim, because... for obvious reasons. Although I suppose it could be ironic, but it's not. He's very lucky.
Yeah.
And so we were getting evicted from our flat at the time in Glasgow.
Oh.
And we were looking for a place to live, and we were all a little glum. And obviously Snow Patrol had no success at that time. We were completely broke. And so our when was this? 2000, maybe 2001. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And we went to the pub to drown our sorrows. And Jimmy disappeared off for an hour, for 60 minutes, and he came back and he went, I found us a house. And I don't know if you know Charles Rennie Mackintosh, the architect, the designer, the architect and designer. So beautiful. You'll have seen his work. It's sort of beautiful, kind of stained glass windows and things like that. But he was from Glasgow, and one of his star pupils went on to follow in his footsteps, and he built this house right in the middle of the West End of Glasgow that's like almost obscured from everything else. It's just this little secret pretty much built by Charles Rennie Mackintosh's student.
Wow.
And Jimmy had found this place, bumped into a guy that was I don't know how he did it. And we ended up living in this extraordinary house that looks like it was out of a Tim Burton movie.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
wow.
And I was in my bedroom, which was in the sort of basement of the house. And I picked up my guitar and started playing it. And the electricity was on an electricity meter. You had like a card meter. You had to keep topping it up. And our electricity was always in the red. You had like 10 minutes or £10 worth in the red, but it charged you double. So really you were,
man.
it was a silly thing to keep it in the red, but us being broke.
You're musicians.
So I was in the middle of writing this song with this sad start to it, which Run very much has. And the electricity went off, and that chorus happened.
Light up.
Me trying to light up the very darkness that I was sitting in.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was kind
Wow.
of one of those moments that, sometimes something happens in and around when you're writing a song that changes the song forever. And it was...
That's so
Amazing.
crazy.
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
a
now
kinda
you
crazy.
should dedicate it to the electric company.
Yes, no, I don't want them.
Yeah,
I don't,
I'm
just in
like,
case
yeah.
just in case we owe them any money. I just, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
We'll
Um,
edit that out next.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. But the song itself is kind of about trying to. You were asking what the song was about. The song is about trying to keep my family safe. From everything. I felt like I felt like I didn't have anything to offer anyone at the time, and kind of all I had was music, and I just wanted to find a life that was safe for me and my family and my friends. And the irony of that song is that it changed our lives forever and did give us security, did give us safety,
Yeah.
because it became our biggest hit at the time until Chasing Cars.
Right.
And it's still, a song in the set that, like of the many songs that is sung the loudest and, has
Yeah.
the most connectivity, and probably the song that people come up to me the most about in the street, more than even Chasing Cars. So
Yeah,
it's definitely,
I can
it
see that.
definitely
Like,
sort of
it's
touched
so
a nerve.
I love how that comes full circle, that you then were able to pay for many people's electric bills, including
I mean, doesn't it feel like divine intervention that way? Like, I'm writing this song about trying to have security, and then it's the thing
Yeah.
And it comes out of also like the lights went out. Like this is like an act of God or something.
The literal electricity went off. I know it's kind of crazy, and you just suddenly find yourself in the dark. It's a very unsettling. I don't know if you ever had that where I'm sure like there's power cuts in the States and stuff like that sometimes, but the disorientation that happens in that moment is kind of quite spectacular in a way, and out of that kind of came this. I was just playing my guitar in the dark at that point.
I picture, was it cold too, like for heat, and was it like a cold Glasgow day? Yeah, I've been to Glasgow. It's very cold.
It's cold and raining most of the time, but it's such a brilliant place, such a great city.
Yeah, but you definitely need heat. So
yes, you need heat. You need electricity. Ideally, but yeah, it can get cold there.
Also, when you said Lucky Jimmy, like he found you a house in an hour during pub time.
Yeah. He literally
pretty amazing.
Left the pub and came back an hour later when we had a house that we could rent.
That's amazing. How long did you stay in that house?
We were there for 1 or 2 years, and my goodness, what a really special, crazy place. It really was. It is like it was like a Tim Burton set. It really was.
That's so cool.
Well, I feel like, we talked with Keane on this podcast too, and
amazing band.
One of the reflections was like, they talked a lot about how, for years they were just trying to get signed and they felt like failures and right, like they formed in 97 and didn't break till 2004. So if this is 2000 when you're writing this, what was that period like for you before, becoming successful?
It's in 1994 we started, and we had same as Keane. We graduated in the same class as Keane in a way.
Totally.
In that year,
I think of you all in the same. Yeah,
2004 with the Killers and Franz Ferdinand and Keane and ourselves, and it all, even though we all maybe started at different times, it all felt like we were somehow all in the same year of life at the same time. And we played with Keane a whole bunch of times. The first time of which was 2004 in Australia. I think it was Melbourne and Sydney in Australia. So a band from Ireland and a band from England, when the first time we played together is in Sydney. But it was
as you do.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But was it hard? Like they talked about like going to like the same place and just playing the songs and like working on the live show. What was it like for Snow Patrol in 2000?
Yeah, so we started in Dundee. I'm from Belfast, Bangor actually. Belfast is sort of more famous, I guess, it being the capital. But I went to university in Dundee in Scotland, and then from 94 to 98, and myself and Mark McClellan, the original bass player, Mike Morrison, the original drummer, started the band in September 29th, 1994. It was the second day or the first day of Freshers Week, which is, I don't know what the equivalent at universities in America would be, probably, I don't know, matriculation?
Something similar. Orientation.
Orientation, yeah. That week is usually a week of like sort of acclimatization. There's a lot of gigs, there's a lot of like events, there's a lot of like societies and clubs that are trying to like do big events where you can go and sort of figure out whether you want to be in the theatre club or the book club or whatever. The good thing about Scotland is that Freshers Week is actually 2 weeks. So there's 2 weeks worth of fun. And
nice.
The second day that I was at Dundee, I met Mark McClellan, and we started that wasn't called Snow Patrol, but there's a direct through line to all of it. And then we did our first gig before the end of that first term. So I think it was December in the Students' Union bar to 50 of our friends, who I don't think there was a paying customer among them. So the next 10 years were really a lot of a struggle, really. We moved down to Glasgow in 98, which seemed like a natural move because the Glasgow music scene at the time was just extraordinary. Still is, but at that time it was Mogwai, Belle and Sebastian, Teenage Fan Club, Arab Strap, this list goes on and on and on and on. And you sort of felt like you were part, like we arrived like just dying to be part of this extraordinary scene. And
Yeah.
we definitely rocked up at certain venues with our guitars, going, can we go on before the main act or the support act or whatever? We'll just go on, like, it just when doors open, it's like. And there's a venue in Glasgow called King Tut's Wawa Hut. I don't know if you've been to King Tut's, but that's
Wow.
very, very
Yeah.
famously, it's where Oasis were discovered by Alan McGee. So it's where Oasis were originally discovered by Creation founder Alan McGee.
Yeah.
They played a show there, and he saw them.
Wow.
So cool.
We went to there all the time and asked them if we could play, and more often than not, they would say yes, and we would play a show, and they would feed us, which was like extra
I mean, yeah.
fun. They would give us like
Yeah.
a bowl of stew, and
Great.
they would stave off the hunger for a day, and because we were sort of living hand to mouth, at the time. It was. But it was really, really fun and very, very kind of difficult, both at the same time, difficult and fun. Those two, actually, to be honest with you, it's quite a good combination because you learn some sort of strength, and you learn if you can do it. You learn if you can cut it, because
Right.
a lot of bands don't last. Like 10 years we had of no success. It's like most bands would, maybe not last that long. Some bands did. There's a lot of stories through music of bands that took a
Right.
long time to happen, but most of the time, you sort of maybe fall by the wayside. But I just never thought I could do anything else, and I've been proven right.
Oh.
Well, you do it successfully
Well,
and very well.
Speaking of your book, I listened to it as an audiobook, and it is beautiful, and I think you should count yourself as a really wonderful author, too.
Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind, and thank you for listening to that. I really appreciate it. It's my first one, but I've written my second one, the first draft of my second one. So I've got the bug now. I want to write more.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And what is the second one about?
The second one's a novel.
Okay.
And it's a crazy time travel, magic and mystery, murder mystery kind of travel through time in Ireland from about the 18th century to close to the 20th century. So it's
wow.
absolutely bonkers. So it might never see the light of day, and the most likely thing is that it never sees the light of day. But it's been really fun to write. And I've been dabbling with script writing as well. So a couple of TV show ideas
wow.
and a movie that's I'm sort of halfway through the script of. And those will probably never see the light of day either. But it's been really fun to learn how to write a script, or to try and write a script. It's because I love film and I love TV, and I want to know how it works, and take it apart in the kitchen and put it all back together again and see if there's any pieces missing. And so it's been fun.
That's so amazing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
We might have some songs to suggest for it.
Yeah,
Yes,
if you need
yes,
some
I
music
will- I will-
supervisor.
I've heard of
Give
this
it a shot.
band, Snow Patrol, too.
Yes, they have. I'm sure they're going to be successful one day.
I hope so, yeah. I don't know. I, too, lost my father to dementia. Well, he had Alzheimer's, so I resonated with it very deeply. And my dad was in a memory care home in the final days, and the way you explain, like, those final days, I can remember, those details. Like, I felt there. I was right there with you in that. I can picture it, like you and your family, and it's a gift and a curse to go through it. But I almost, like, for me now, after the loss, like, the play and the creating and all that has been so helpful, hence, like, even having a podcast and talking about grief. And it was really beautiful. And I did want to ask, because I really love the part about that your dad requested the guitar player that would come to the memory care home, and that he would play Chasing Cars every week. I think that's beautiful. And my family, we used to call those the gifts, like that there'd be little gifts left for us. Have you had any other kind of gifts since he's passed, or some more peace and just learning about him in the after he's passed?
Firstly, and when did your father pass?
Also around the holidays in 2022.
I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you?
Thank
How are
you.
you doing?
Yeah, he had he had Alzheimer's for 10 years. And so that was, it's like two different losses, as you know, too, right? Like, which I love to hear that your dad still knew your music and still, I think my dad, the gift was that he still knew I was someone to him. He didn't know my name at the end, and that's okay, but he knew I was someone to him. But, you know, it's a process. And like you had said, like, you know, after the year, I felt like a little bit of the fog had lifted. But the holidays are tough just because he was in hospice during the holidays. And it's like, do we celebrate? It's weird, you know. I think something like this has been really helpful, getting to talk about emotions, because I think we should all talk about it more. And I loved your honesty in the book. And there's just an understanding in a way that some people can't, right? So they just, until you go through it, it's unimaginable. So.
It is. And yeah, you're right about the holidays never really being quite the same again. Just is there's something lost.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to look forward to them, and now you're kind of like, oh, here it comes. Yeah. But being with family and is really helpful, and just the people that went through it with you. How long did your dad have dementia?
It was about 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
He was he's an amazing man. Obviously, you've listened to the book, so you know that him and I had a slightly strained relationship at times. But there was no one bigger in my life. You know, no one bigger than him. And he, the strength. This sort of will be sort of emblematic of the strength of the man. But he was told that when he was 59 years old that he had 6 months to live. And unless he got a triple heart bypass, one of his friends went in 3 days before he was due to go in to get his triple heart bypass, and his friend died on the operating table. And obviously extremely tragically. But my dad said, well, I'm not going to get that operation. And then he lived for another 22 years after that, after being told he had 6 months to live. So that's kind of the defiance. Some would say emblematic as well of his belligerence, but he was not for giving up. And I take strength in that and in him. Anytime I think of him, that's what I think of his defiance and his bravery.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any other gifts since he's passed? You know, like that you got to learn, or?
There's a scene early in the book of it's sort of strange. It was just the way that it was happening to me during his passing, which sort of, you know, people think about death as like a sort of a binary thing, but it's not really. It's like a process. It's a progression. It's a series of events. And during that series of things that are happening, I was having these flashbacks to times that we'd spent together. And that's the way I felt naturally that the book should be, you know, that where I just suddenly flip to somewhere in the past. And there's a scene where me and him are walking along the banks of Strangford Lough, which is a sea inlet 20 minutes from here. And I'm pointing over my shoulder. And we used to go there to fish, and he was into what Americans refer to as hunting, but what we call shooting over here, and sort of wildfowl, ducks, pheasants, things like that. I mean, there was ducks in my cartoons. I don't want to shoot at ducks, you know. So, but I wanted to be with him. So, I've been going to Strangford Lough recently. I've just been going to various places there and standing on the banks and thinking of him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see him there more than I see him probably anywhere else in terms of like in my memory for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just very evocative.
Yeah, it's a funny thing, but there are certain places and songs and just things that really bring them back, right? And I think with this kind of loss, you lost them twice, you know, like as their memories going there, and you don't know that one's the final goodbye. Like someone had explained it as like ambiguous loss. So you were in we were in ambiguous loss, and then that loss, and it's a hard one.
What made you decide to put all that in a book, Gary?
It's interesting because while the record was being made, I was ready, and even before we started like Johnny and I both went in to start writing the album, The Forest is the Path, I had been writing pages and pages and pages and pages of stuff that I normally go into an album with a blank page, and I was going in with many, many, many pages and pages on my laptop and my notes on my phone and literal pages everywhere. And it just felt like there was something spilling over the edges of the songs. So when I was writing the songs themselves, I felt like the story of those songs felt more, that there was more to it. And so I just sat down after we finished to sort of collect all these pages together that I'd been writing and try to put them into something. And most of them I threw away, but there were little acorns of things that grew into the book. And I just sat down on the 1st of March. I sat down, started writing, and I finished the book on the 30th of March. So it was literally a month. It's a short book, so it's not, you know, it's not like I didn't write, you know, like Infinite Jest or anything like that. I mean, it's 40,000 words, but it's
You wrote a book.
Right.
You wrote
Yes.
a book.
It has pages and 2 covers and everything. And
Yes.
words in there.
And
There's
it's
words.
very moving.
Yeah.
It's moving. I cried. Yeah. I
Oh.
listened to it on my walk. Yeah. It's very beautiful. Obviously, your songs are very lyrical and imagery, but you have a gift in this lane too. So.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
And you've helped, you know, I think just listening to Laura talk about it, you know, it's helpful to know you're not alone going through that stuff.
Yeah. Agreed.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you did good.
Thank you.
I was telling Lindsay, because Lindsay had the pleasure of going to see you in Bangor, your hometown, and I guess that was the show that Bono came out, and that was your dad's favorite show and his last show. But what a way of, I was like, Lindsay, you were there at a really seminal time, so that's really cool, and what a special gift that you got that. I mean, that's amazing.
Yes, my dad was sitting he was in a wheelchair, but at the side of the stage. It was 6 months before. That was 2019.
It was May 25th because I
May
turned
25th.
40
Okay.
at midnight.
On her birthday.
So I was like, Bono came out for my birthday. It's perfect.
He did indeed, and yeah. So he passed away on the 20th of December, you know, that year. So 6 months later he'd be dead. But he was at that show. That was the last show that he saw, and we got him there. It's in the book, but I'll do a very, very, very short version of it. And he was sat on stage, and Bono was standing waiting to go on to sing, and he spoke to our wonderful assistant Natalie and said, "Is that Gary's dad over there?" And he went over. Bono went over. Nobody asked him. He went over and he spoke to my dad for 10 minutes, and they took pictures together and they had the crack. And he had to be tapped on the shoulder to say, "Excuse me, Mr. Bono, you're on the stage." So he shook my dad's hand and off he walked out onto the stage. So I didn't know any of this. I was on stage singing, so I only found out afterwards. And then my dad told that story for the rest of his life. A lot of things he forgot, but he did not forget that up until almost the very end. He would tell anybody that would listen that him and Bono were great pals. So
Yeah.
That's
That's so
amazing.
beautiful of Bono to give you that, your family, that gift too, like without him even knowing, but just being a really classy person. And that's amazing.
100%. What he didn't realize was he was giving fuel for jealousy for the rest of my family, because everybody was like, everyone was like, "Oh, you're gonna be Bono."
Yeah.
Everybody else was out front watching. You know, my dad was the only one side of stage.
Yeah. Now everyone's going to be like, when are you making that happen for us?
Yeah.
Yes.
So are you close with Bono and you too, or how did that moment come about?
Well, we played with U2 many times. They invited us to tour with him many times. We were so lucky that we got to play with him on quite a few different tours. And yeah, I'd be nervous about texting Bono with the Edge, like just on a regular basis. That'd be a nervous thing for somebody that grew up idolizing their band.
Sure.
And so I sort of had the idea, and then I was like to everyone else, "Do you think Bono would be up for that?" And they're like, "Well, ask him." And and I texted him, and he said, "Look, I'm busy that day at the moment. but I will let me get back to you. And 3 days later, he got back to me and he went, I've moved stuff around and I'd love to do it.
Oh.
He ended
that's
up, see, this is the greatness of the man. He moved all of the stuff that he was doing that day. He told all these people, I think some of them were like really high up people in various like positions of power, come to Belfast and have the meetings in Belfast. And then he drove down to Bangor and did the show with us. So that's
amazing.
That was an amazing thing he did.
And what a gift for your hometown.
Yeah, the people of Bangor never forget
Yeah.
that. They'll never forget that.
I'm sure. I'm sure. That's amazing. Was your dad a big U2 fan too?
My dad wasn't really a music fan. Like, not really.
Oh.
No, there was
No.
there was never any music in the house growing up. Not really. My mum liked music. My mum loves
Wow.
music, and my mum sang in the church choir, and she's got a lovely voice. But there was never lots of albums or anything. There was like 7 or 8 vinyl albums in the house before I started buying vinyl, and it was like country and western, Mo Bandy, Merle Haggard, Dolly Parton, Kenny Rogers, that sort of
Wow.
thing. But these are albums that were in the house,
Yeah.
and they were never played. So, you know, it's like, I mean, I played them because I was like curious as to what they sounded like. And it's funny that at the time I didn't respond, you know, to them, to that sort of country music. And now I love country music because I think it's also got an element of nostalgia for me. It's like, these are even if they weren't played, even if there wasn't a lot of music in the house, these are part of the foundations of my musical life. So it's like
Sure.
they're definitely in there somewhere.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to just hear that your dad wasn't into music and that the music wasn't played in the house a ton. Like, yes, your mom liked it, but I just think, like, you know, you assume when someone's in a band that like music was always in their life. But I also think sometimes when you discover it for yourself, that can be even more powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and through your friends, you know, a lot of my friends were, I mean,
Right.
there's a story again in the book, a very abridged version. My friend went and bought the Nirvana Nevermind album during lunch at school, and on the way home, he'd already listened to the first side, but on the way home, he let me have one of the headphones, and I listened to Territorial Pissings for the first time in that sort of first song, side B, first track, and my whole chemistry, DNA, future, past, the universe, everything changed in that moment, you know? So it's like just something about not just the music, but the way that it was delivered, you know, down literally one side of me. It's almost like having a positive stroke, you know, in some way, you know, like you're just getting this music channeled down the one side of your body like lightning. And it was something really special.
Were you like, I need to do that? Was that the part of the feeling you received?
Not quite yet. I had picked up the guitar at that point. It was really Nirvana that made me realize that, you know, I was listening to a lot of heavy metal up to that point. So I like trying to play like lead solo. I don't have dexterity for that sort of guitar playing. So I felt like, well, I'm never going to have a life in music because I can't play this thing that I know exists. So when I found out that Nirvana existed, and it's not to say that their music was simple, it's just that perhaps some of the extravagance was sort of taken out of it, and I could see the raw materials. I was only at 16, myself as a 16-year-old I could only see some of it. I could just see a little bit of it, and that was enough for me to go, oh, something's happening over here. And then I went to see them play in the Ulster Hall in Belfast. In the King's Hall in Belfast. They were originally supposed to play in the Ulster Hall in Belfast, and they played the King's Hall in Belfast in 1992, and they blew my mind. The last song, the first song I heard of them ever was the last song they played that night. So it's just kind of interesting.
Cool.
That was their kind of final song.
Closer.
But yeah, that's the moment that I knew I wanted to be in a band. Lindsay, you asked if I knew then when I first heard them. No, it's when I first saw them live, and the only time I saw them live that I went, I want to do that. I know I'm not going to be as good at it, but I want to do that. Yeah.
What a special gift, because, you know, they didn't tour that long, obviously. I don't know that I've ever talked to someone that's actually seen them live, so that's amazing.
Nirvana, Teenage Fan Club, and the Breeders was the lineup.
Oh,
I mean,
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it's
Amazing.
ever been matched in my experience.
Wow, that's so cool. That's so cool. Was the crowd, because the crowd had already been aware of Nirvana, were they just enraptured?
We have long in Belfast had a dearth of international acts up to that point because of what was going on. There was a war on, and a lot of people
Yeah.
didn't want to go to Belfast, and the people that
Yeah.
did, we loved forever. We loved them forever. Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers were my first gig, international band gig, and Nirvana were my second, and they're tattooed on my heart. I can't. That's for coming over there in the first place and putting on an
Yeah.
amazing show. But yeah, so we were renowned for being an amazing crowd, and we still are an amazing crowd because we had so few bands coming over. And Kurt, which was a
Right.
great thrill for all of us, actually said Belfast was one of his favorite shows that they played. So we were amazed.
So cool.
That's amazing. Wow.
So Gary, what are some of your favorite sad songs?
Well, quite a lot of my favorite sad songs are not sad to me because they make me so happy. So a sad song makes me happy, not because I love wallowing, but because it makes
Yeah.
me feel like I'm connected and that somebody understands. It's almost written like a novel, the lyrics are so extraordinary and yet they're quite abstract in places too. But regarding Stax by Bon Iver from his first album,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Oh, yeah.
is like it's one of my favorite songs of all time. There is a melancholy to it, but there's also such expansion and joy and a feeling that you are being held by something invisible and that cares for you as you listen. So yeah, I think that's definitely one of them.
There's so much beauty too, right? Like sometimes the beauty in a song really moves you, I find.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
I mean, there's just so many. Again, there's a sadness to it. There's a melancholy because it's reflecting back. It is looking back, and I think those songs are imbued with sadness when you're reflecting. But The Dress by Dijon,
Oh, I don't think I know that.
I don't know that one.
it's a stunning piece of music that I have been obsessively listening to. Dijon's amazing. I think he's going to have a good year. I think it's going to be one of those good years for him. You can look up on YouTube Dijon Absolutely Live. It's 25 minutes
Okay.
of them playing live. And I must have watched that 15 times at least.
Wow.
It is the most extraordinary live video I've ever seen in my life. It's just them all sitting around a table playing their instruments. And Dijon
Really?
and
Oh.
Michael or McGee have this chemistry that is just extraordinary chemistry. They're clearly a few beers into the evening as well, and it just gives the whole thing a kind of a chaotic kind of like. There's no kind of airs or graces, and there's like little sort of mistakes and things in there, but all of it just makes this beautiful collage of sound and joy and togetherness and friendship, and it's the thing I watch when I am sad. So I guess it's apropos of this very podcast.
Yes.
I'm excited to check them out. I always like to learn about what moves people. Do you have any others?
Yeah, too many, far too many. There is a song. It's funny because it's called "Joy," "The Joy of Nothing" by Foy Vance.
Oh,
yeah.
I love Foy. Yeah.
It is about. I never asked him what it's about, but he's a friend of
Yeah.
mine. But I don't like asking people, other musicians, what their song's about, just in case I've got it wrong.
Well, what
or
if you
they
could
don't
come on the
wanna-
pod and you could ask him, and then you
Yes,
would be
I
under
could come.
the
I could do it
guise
that way
of
round.
song quiz.
Yeah. If I'm in a going at it from a different perspective, I could.
Yes.
It's just such a beautiful song. This is one of the songs I think that should also be talked about when talking about sad songs. It's a song whose lyrics are extraordinarily happy and joyful. It's really called "The Joy of Nothing." Doing nothing, him and his daughter being together, and yet the song itself has this aching sadness to it. So musically, it feels like a sad song, and lyrically, it feels like a happy song. So I love that marriage between those two. Like you're flicking between the two almost, like just waving in and out of one and the other. And when a song catches that, right, I think it's a beautiful thing, because that is life. It's not always happy. It's not always sad, or at least you'd hope that it's not always sad. And I think if you're always happy,
Right.
it might be the drugs talking, to be honest.
Yeah, right. You're numbing something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or that quality of bittersweet. It's so happy in the moment, but you want to like bottle it and make it last forever, and you can't, and that's painful. I'm not familiar with the song, but I can imagine sometimes these like joyful thoughts or happy memories, or I definitely know like parent-child stuff, even if it's super positive, just hits me in a different, place, because, it's not forever and it's ever changing as well.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know the Lola Young record?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that album is one of the best albums of the last 5 years. I think it's
really
as
cool.
close to a masterpiece as I've heard in a while. Maybe Sleep Token is the best album I've heard in the last 5 years. Lola's is their first equal. I'll give the two first place. And the last song on that is actually a spoken word, and it's so sad. I cried quite a few times listening to the end of that record, and it is so sad and so powerful. And it's like about her sort of reclaiming her life and herself, and yet there's this ache in it, and it's a wonderful, wonderful record. I just wanted to talk about that record because I just love it so much.
No, she is having a moment, and it's great, because
Yeah.
those kind of songs don't always punch through. But I love that it's gone mainstream, and because it's not a song that would typically be in the mainstream, but it's obviously resonating, which I think is amazing.
Well, that whole record is so brilliant because it's played. Everything's played on it. It feels like there's remnants of music past, and yet it feels very, very now, very modern, very present. But it is played, and I think when people hear it against so much of what else is happening, perhaps in the pop world, I'm not averse to pop. I think pop is great, but where quite a lot of it is not played, let's just say, I'll just be diplomatic, that when you hear a record like that is played by humans, all humans playing, I'm sure there's like samples and various things in there too, but it's mostly played, and it really does shine through. It really does sort of rise above for me. When I hear something like that, I go, I want to know all about this record. I want to know who played what on it. I want these sort of things that you used to do when you got the record, when you only could afford one record every month, and you got the inlay card out,
Right.
and you're reading everybody that the third saxophonist or whatever, and it just made you want to know everything about a record. That's the type of record that makes you want to know everything about it.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's awesome.
I know kids these days, although Lindsay's son does listens on Amazon Music, asks Alexa to play, but then pulls the vinyl out and does memorize everybody, right?
Look at the liner notes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm like, he
Right.
gives us hope, because everyone can just type in and, just go to the one song instead of the album. Like,
Yeah.
I miss album culture.
Just to that kind of, when you were talking about the power of the last song on the album, Laura and I always talked about how we usually love sad songs, and sad songs are usually the last song on the album. When you were sequencing albums, did you pay particular attention to how you were going to end it?
Yes, all the time. I think the album sequencing is so important, even if it's only for you, even if it's like just so that you know that you've presented the songs in the way that you hope people listen to them. But we emailed back and forth about my tech uselessness. But I'm not a Luddite. I'm not someone that thinks that everybody should stop. Like modernization should stop. I think that there are elements to technology that are great. I think there are elements to technology that are terrifying. But we'll not go into those. But I do think that we should try to evolve the way music is evolving and not be like a curmudgeon about it. But I don't want to just give over, all of our agency to the algorithm. That's not what I want. But yeah, so I think that certainly something like the order of a record is really important, because it shows that you've thought about it. It shows you care. You're not just it's not a playlist that you're making of your own music. But then again, what is certain is that they will end up on playlists, so you can't be too upset when that happens.
Right. Of course. Yeah. Last question, because you've been so generous with your time. Are you all working on any new music? I know you're busy writing, but
Yes, we've been writing a lot. We're already writing the next album, and it's been really fun. And yeah, we've done some writing sessions together, me and Johnny, and we've been writing individually, and it's been really fun.
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, always excited to hear that.
And Nathan of course as well. Yeah, it's been great just to get out on tour this year, and now the tour's finished and we can start to concentrate more on the more sedate life of songwriting.
Right.
Keep those sad bangers coming.
Yes. I'm sure there'll be a few on the next album.
We'll rank them in sadness and report back
Yes.
to you. Shout out if that's your next album title. That's
Ranking the sadness. I'm making a note of it.
Amazing. Love it.
Thank you, Gary.
Thanks for being with us today and chatting.
Thank you so much, both Laura and Lizzie. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on the Sad Song Queens, because you always need a good cry.
We will link all the songs discussed today in our show page and our Spotify playlist.
Please also be sure to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you find podcasts. It helps us a lot.
Huge thanks to Gary Lightbody, Jonathan Graham Quinn, Nathan Connolly, Paul Wilson, and Tom Simpson, as well as our friends at Universal Music Publishing Group, Universal Music Group, and Allison Wood at Vibrant Ground Music.
Special production thanks to Stephanie Gangle, Jessica Griffin, Eugenia Coe, Jordan Lindsley, Rob Carter, and our producer Emily Cartham.
Our theme song is All My Favorite Songs by Weezer, and our outro music is by Wyatt Rouse.